Alright, listen up, you mongoloid gutter sluts. It's time for Captain Stumpy's weekend safety brief. Because I know some of you Marines are going to try and get away with doing some dumb shit this weekend. We're going to go over a few things that might be useful. First up is going to be how to interact with police, followed by why Uber or a taxi or friend is always cheaper, and what to do if we wake up with a stranger or in a strange place. Then we're going to move on to suicide awareness, invisible injuries, and finally, making sticky with that special someone. Then it's on to the Idiot Olympics, page announcements, and lastly, a Q&A/shoutouts. So, without further ado, here we go. How to interact with the police. Well, first and foremost, be nice. If you're being a dick, then the cop's gonna be a dick. And the cop always wins. Second of all, mind your manners. Be polite. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Whatever the case may be. Be honest. The worst thing you can do is lie to the police. If they find out, you're screwed. Follow orders. Now, there is no excuse for anyone in this group to not follow orders when given by an officer. Trust me, just do what he says and complain about it later. Even if it's bullshit, take them to court. Don't try and solve it then and there. You will go to jail. And then it doesn't matter if it was bullshit. Your command is still going to screw you. Now, the merits of taking an Uber or calling a taxi or a friend. First and foremost, don't drink and drive. Don't smoke weed and drive. Call a friend. You know your buddies want to come drink and get high witches, so why don't you call one? Make them stay sober and trick them into driving you home. Call the duty driver. I personally have done this. Call the duty driver. They'll bitch and moan and complain, but ultimately, they'll come get you. Don't be a fucktard. This is probably the most important rule of all. If you're going to go out and you're going to drink and you're going to smoke and you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, don't be a fucktard. Just remember, what would Captain Stumpy do? Now, if you come across one of those fun situations where you find a stranger in your bed, or you wake up to a stranger in a strange bed, kindly introduce yourself. If you don't remember what happened, ask. Double check to make sure that you or they, depending upon your preference and sex, wore a raincoat. If you failed at Raincoat 101, take them or take yourself to go hit the morning after pill. And then you probably want to consider getting tested as well, you dirty, dirty slut. If you went hogging or jumped on the grenade for your friends, remember, it's all fun and games until your friends find out. Now, if you woke up in a strange place, make sure you check that you did not get raped. Check for your wallet, purse, ID, phone, and bank and credit cards. You never know, maybe you got mugged. Try to determine your approximate location. Look for landmarks and call the people that you last remember hanging out with. Odds are, they know where you're at. If all else fails, just call a taxi or your command or an Uber or a friend or just something and do that sad walk of shame back to your doorstep. If all else fails, if you can't do any of those things, retrace your steps in an attempt to locate missing items. More than once, I have had to take friends and shipmates back through the list of bars that we went to that night to retrieve a lost bank card or ID. Now, something that is actually near and dear to my heart and quite important, suicide awareness. Now, I know we've all been through hundreds of GMTs regarding suicide awareness and suicide prevention, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. But just remember, every threat is credible, and listening to someone is often the best solution. You don't need a degree or some specialized anything to just sit and listen. Now, that being said, if you do need professional help, please learn to recognize that. Make sure you recommend to them that they seek professional help, but be a good listener. And that brings me to invisible injuries. I find it kind of ironic that me, Captain Stumpy, is talking about invisible injuries. First, invisible injuries often hurt the most. This is because there is no source. You can't attribute that pain or that feeling to anything in particular, so there's no way to immediately fix it. Whenever I start getting a little achy, I turn to narcotics, and that seems to work out just fine. PTSD, of course, it's estimated to affect up to 30% of our veteran community, and so it's something that should always be taken seriously. Understand things like survivor's guilt, that people often feel they should have been the one that died. Consider for yourself, those of you who were fortunate enough to make it back, how that must feel. Also, many of these injuries get undiagnosed or go undiagnosed or get misdiagnosed all the time. Simple depression is not PTSD, and PTSD doesn't necessarily present with depression. So it's important to know the difference. It's for all those of you out there that suffer with those invisible injuries, remember, that's what we're here for. It's okay to talk about that shit. Most of us are happy to listen. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few assholes roaming around, but, most of us. And of course, reach out if you're ever in need. Doesn't matter what it is, what time it is, or what anybody else has going on. If it comes to whatever they have going on and you becoming part of that 22, trust me, whatever we're doing is not that important. And always remember that PTSD, survivor's guilt, all those invisible injuries tend to have a snowball effect. So while the incident in and of itself may not seem that huge to you, then take everything that you have to go through in regular life and pile it right on top. And before you know it, you have this massive snowball of terrible things. Reach out. That's what we're here for. Now, one of my favorite topics, making sticky. First and foremost, remember, strangers with benefits is rape, and rape is bad. Don't rape people or animals, Marines. No means no. Again, if she says no, that means you are now raping her or him. Don't rape people. If she's passed out drunk, Army guys, that's still rape. Don't rape. Rape bad. For those of us that are married, remember, that for your wife or significant other, the sexiest words in the English language are, "Honey, I cleaned the house." Also, don't abuse your significant other or wife or children or anything like that. That's just as bad as rape. So don't be that guy. Finally, AIDS, herpes, and fetuses don't give a shit if it was only one time. Nor do they care if it was an oops. Don't let your dingle dangle in the dirt. Also, make sure you pee and wash up after sex, especially anal. UTIs suck. And now, moving on to the Idiot Olympics. This is a new subject for us, but here we go. Coming in as second place, we have the silver medal going to roller skating while drunk, resulting in a sprained ankle. Who wants to be that guy that has to go to their chief on Monday morning talking about, "I sprained my ankle because I was drunk roller skating as an adult male"? Yeah. In bronze, we have the Army deserter that was arrested 5 years later at the New Orleans cruise ship dock. It's not clear as to whether or not she had intended to board the cruise, but turns out it's actually pretty common for cruise officers to check people for any outstanding warrants before allowing them on board the pier. Who'd have thought? So for those of you criminals out there, remember, if you have outstanding warrants, don't take a cruise. And our winner for this week's gold medal Idiot Olympian. A Navy chief lost situational awareness while using a table saw and lost the tip of his wife's favorite finger. Now, I know this may seem minor, but coming from someone who knows a thing or two about amputations, losing any body parts sucks. Not to mention, it was his wife's favorite. All right, and that's it for Idiot Olympics. Moving on to page announcements. Remember that the Assault Life sponsorship campaign is running through 2/18. That's February 18th. So visit the link posted in the comments and make sure you put MDH in the comments at checkout. We're coming up with a new kind of raffle for you fucksticks. Here's the deal. Excuse me. Our very own Timothy Rhodes /redneck/dickbutt has offered up a piece of his skin to get a literal dick with balls tattooed on him. So the way the raffle will go is each ticket purchased is a chance for you, the purchaser, to decide on what part of his body that tattoo will be placed. Hence the name Dick Butt, because you know where I'm putting it. Speaking of tattoos, we have a tattoo raffle coming up on the 19th and running through March 4th. The winner of this raffle will lay claim to $400 worth of tattoo Yeah, it's exciting. Tattoos. Who doesn't like tattoos? Also, it's happening potentially sometime in March, is the MDH, that's Military Dickheads for you retards, official challenge coins. That's right. We're going to have official challenge coins for Military Dickheads in March. So, start saving. Buy a lot of them. April, we have a coffee sale coming up. As many of you may have noticed, we have a coffee brewer, or maker, or roaster, or whatever you want to call it, among our ranks. So let's do what we can to support that. Oh, shit! Fuck! Ah! Now I really do look like a dick. What the hell? Also, dates to be announced, we have the Military Dickheads official t-shirt sale. I feel like Hillary Clinton, I'm coughing so much. And we will be having a Military Dickheads patch that will also go on sale at some point. Now, I'd like to open it up. I'd like to open it up for questions. Really? Nobody's got questions for one-eyed Captain Stumpy? That'd be a good name for a band. One-eyed Captain Stumpy. Need to get him tattooed on cross-eyed. Real fucking funny, motherfucker. Telling me I'm cross-eyed and shit. I ain't got but one. Where did I lose the other eye? Well, if you'd have been watching the damn video, you'd have seen it. That's what you get for not paying attention. So this is it. No other questions. Nobody. Nothing. Going once. Going twice. And that's it. No more questions. All right. Just to throw some shout outs out there, we got LCS Ron 1. Represent. And finally, and most importantly, some of you may or may not have known that Brad Jackson, a member of our page, and one of our gloriously awesome admins, his wife, Rachel, had surgery recently, and Rachel happens to be pregnant with their soon-to-be born daughter, Sophia. Well, we got word just today that Miss Rachel and baby Sophia have made it through surgery with flying colors, and that everything went exactly as planned. So, a great big fuck yeah to Brad Jackson. Or Gingerbeard, as we like to call him. So, that about wraps it up for Captain Stumpy's safety brief. We put out just a ton of information. I mean, that's amazing. We made it through it. I'm not even mad. Remember that dickheads gonna be dickheads, and pieces of shit are gonna get kicked the fuck out. But on a serious note, guys, our mission here at Dickheads is to do anything and everything we can to try and stop the 22 a day. And while we like to joke and we like to play and we like to do lots of silly shit, never forget that every single day there are a few less of us. And that's something that we can absolutely stop. We are the only ones who truly understand each other. And with that, Captain Stumpy, signing off.